No. No. This is completely unfair. I am not late. I swear, I am not late. This is unfair. I was done wrong. I was bamboozled, led astray, flim-flam, lied to, betrayed, befuddled. That was a pretty good run. I think I had like one more. I was gonna say janky, but something like that. Maybe this one. Something. Well, anyway. Let's go! Asaltante Oso, that bear you all know. Out of hibernation to entertain Raider Nation. What? You heard me. I'm sure you heard me. I'm pretty sure your neighbors heard me. I think I'm starting to hit tones that dogs can hear, like a dog whistle, and they just get so angry when they hear me. Woo! Often imitated, never duplicated. That fool with no hair, woo! That shouts like Ric Flair. Woo! Woo! The Raider Bear! Raiders! That one was for the dogs and the cats. Bring it in. Good timing. That's one little cub. Bring it on. Give it to me. Give it to me. It's my girl. I'm so proud of you. I can't be any more proud. I've reached 100.
Okay, don't gaslight me. Call that affection.
You're my favorite thing in the world. All right, let's go. Raiders! No, that's it. No, come on. That's it. Raiders! Alexa, hush! First place, gold medalist numero uno, El Jefe. What? Mark Vargas, that emoji making son of a monkey. Put foots in him. No, I'm not. He won. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Always there for R8RBEAR, our gold medalist tonight, Mark Vargas. Second place, our silver medal, the world heavyweight champion, who is down tonight. Just like a wrestler, he's got a cast on, a neck brace, and one crutch, and he's just sort of going like this, and he still got second place. Third place, my bronze medal goes to, oh, I'm always messing up because David Pell-Cliver comes on the show and I don't have a weapon. David Pell-Cliver! Look, David, you don't understand how lethal these are. These are so awesome. And every time I put them on, or people come to my house and they see them, they think they're plastic, and I go, okay, touch them. And they hurt, man. They hurt. I mean, this seriously, if you hit someone hard enough, this would absolutely break skin and break through. It absolutely would. It's insane how sharpened those are. And they come like that. If I take a stone to that, oh my God, because it looks like it's, look. I gotta find something metal to bang on so you guys know. Anyway, it's metal. They're not plastic. They look plasticky, and the base is plastic, but the blades themselves are metal. It's crazy. I can't believe they let someone like me buy something like this. It's just total lack of responsibility on the behalf of the public. Facebook! Numero uno, El Jefe! Number one. Oh, come on. He did a double? David Pell-Cliver! Wow, man. Okay, so you got third in YouTube and first David Pelkleimer in Facebook. Second place, my silver medal goes to last night's winner. Woo! Trujillo! Corinna Trujillo, last night's winner. Congratulations. Love you, girl. Can't stop, won't stop. Third place, my bronze medal goes to one of my longtime viewers, Mr. Troy Gill. Troy, I'm just gonna pick something that looks really cool, and I'm just gonna send it to you. I'm just gonna send you something really cool. I don't know which one yet, but I'm gonna send you something really cool. I got so many of these size 8s. I don't know what I'll do, but I'll send you something cool. Because I have one of the one. No, actually, I think I have 2, but I have at least. Yeah, I have at least 2. I might actually, now that I think about it, I might have 3. I gotta send Anna Diaz one, and that's no problem because of her husband, and then I can send you one. But it's anyway, I'm not saying. It's the military. There's a military, salute to the troops style hat that we do. Not every year. It's like every 5 years or something like that. And I think I've got the last 3 that they've done. They're pretty cool, and there's no dates on them. And they look, because they are brand new. They've never been worn. I have them all in plastic. I just pulled them all out of plastic and put them in one big box so I could just show them to people quickly. So don't worry about that. I've got your mailing address, and I'm going to be going to the mail soon. So, because I got to do that again. All right, so what's up, everybody? Honorable mention to Tony Carpenter Evans. Hi, Tony. Always good to see you, love. Welcome to the show. Starting us off again. Hello! Now, unlike last night where you had a shot at the really nice car mats with the Raider logo for your Raider vehicle, Corinna Trujillo won that. So tonight, and this is like right out, you can hear the paper rustling because it's brand new. And I did already take it out of this thing so I could see the plastic thing so I could show it to you. And this is just really wicked. I already told Ma Bear I'm just gonna have to buy another one. That's a bottle opener, by the way. And here it's all wood, and the tang, so to speak, like they talk with knives, it goes all the way through to the base. So it's really tough. It's got the sweet Raider logo on the face, but I want to make clear it's not on the other side. So you can't burn the logo into stuff. I've seen ones that do that, but I can't find it. I've been trying to find it, but I can't find it. But if I find it, I'll grab it for you guys. I like doing that kind of stuff. If I find really cool and rare Raider stuff, I'll bring it on and show it to you. And this is pretty dope. It's NFL endorsed, cook like a Raider, I always say. And I just want to remind everyone also that in addition to that spatch, and it's not necessarily a barbecue one, you can use it in the house. It's really nice looking. I know you just saw it, but when you win it, whoever wins it, when it arrives, you'll see what I mean. It feels like quality, and yet it's light. It's got really nice steel. And it's stainless steel, of course. And then a bottle opener at the tip. That's just cool. Because you could be doing the barbecue thing. Someone comes over with their beer. You can just go, yeah, come here. Want a burger? All right, so what's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. I hope everybody's all strapped in because we got stuff to discuss. Hi, Tommy. Always there for a Raider Bear, my little guy. Yo, Raider Bear. What's up, Jim Garrison? Appreciate you, brother. Mark Vargas. You wearing the Bear earbuds? Nice. Ramiro Cashflow Castro. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. All right. I want everyone to remember that I'm fair, okay? If I talk a bunch of junk to you and then you beat me at something, I take my lumps, okay? And I just got done the other day calling the Sacramento Kings the Sacramento Queens, and that me and my Warriors were going to go and lay the smacketh down on their candy you-know-whats, as The Rock likes to say. And, we we showed up. It was in an alley in Sacramento, and their team showed up, and they started hitting us with, Coke bottles and sticks, and, it was terrible. Trash can lids, just, Yeah, we got our butt kicked. It was bad. They did that, the equivalent of that, at basketball. They just killed us. Oh, Ramiro Castro, I appreciate the love. Remember, everyone, please like and subscribe. It's only $5 a month for those on Facebook, but on YouTube, it's absolutely free. So if you could, just hit subscription, click on that little bell so you'll get reminders of when I'm going to be on. And I really appreciate it. And by the way, stars contributed to the show go directly to charities that we work with all over the world, but they also help with supporting the show. So if you enjoy yourself, hit a star. Appreciate you. Much love. Now, let's get to it. I did shout your name, Jim. Jim Vanderlyn! I'll give you another one just because you're not feeling well, okay? Steven Shaw, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Steven, you came in second the other night. I have something nice I'm going to send you, but I don't want to tell you what it is. I want to surprise you. I guarantee you you'll like it. And when it gets there, I want you to take a picture with it with your smiling face, or better yet, your wife, because it's really for her. And I'm sorry, I'm a wife guy. You know, I love my wife. She comes first in everything. So everyone else's husband's got to learn that too. So I'm going to say you something cool. I think you're going to really like it. I already have something in mind. I'm like looking at it right now. It's really nice. I thought you couldn't do doubles. Okay, it's time. Oh, Tony, make it dip. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Jim, you can't do doubles. I just did that for David Paul Kleiber because he's Mount Rushmore around here. Steven Shaw and Corinna True. Hello. Okay, now. So about the Raiders, Spy, whatever his name is, Spy Check or Spy Tech or whatever his name is. Okay, the guy, I know his stuff. I just don't care about his name. But he was a general manager with the Buccaneers. And if you haven't already noticed, he was the general manager with the Buccaneers while Tom was there. You know, Tom, our part owner. I don't need to say his last name, do I? Don't make me do that. You guys can write it, but I won't read it. And if I do, I'll get mad at you. But anyway, that guy is going to be doing so much of the team building that you had to figure that maybe there would be some guys that he selected that he has some familiarity with. Remember, Shedeur Sanders, we considered not because of necessarily just his talent, but there were those that heard the reports that Deion Sanders, Shedeur Sanders' father, is actually good friends with Tom Brady. Now this was after football, but they've become friends after football. And to me, there are those that would argue that the fact that the friendship between the two of them came after football means that business-wise now, there's a clear path for them to do business if they should ever want to. Now, I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm not feeding into the energy about Shedeur Sanders and Deion Sanders to the Raiders. I'm not. Okay, but I want to prepare Raider Nation for the fact that we could pick Shedeur Sanders, but Deion won't be a part of the deal. It won't be Deion. Obviously, we've been working with these other coaches, getting ready to hire someone. Now, if by some weird chance we don't hire Pete Carroll or we don't hire Steve Spagnuolo, I want everyone to just try to panic as peacefully as you can. Because if we don't sign one of those guys, it's probably going to Deion. Wait, I want to show you guys my crinkle babe. You guys want to see my crinkle babe? It's total crinkle babe. Come here. Come on, Mama. Come on. Show it to him, Mama Bear. Get in here. Oh, look at the crinkles.
Wait, this way?
I love that thing. Man, go back in the bathroom and crinkle some more.
Oh, I want to make sure you get coffee.
Thank you. Actually, my little water shot, the little black one, if you could grab that.
Okay.
That would be awesome. Artie Mack, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Okay, so let's get to it. So with SpyTech, he's here, but he's also the kind of guy that makes the moves in the free agency a little bit more often, that makes his moves, not the moves, makes his moves more often in free agency. I actually read about 3 different articles talking about SpyTech and how long he was there and his track record, and it's actually pretty good. But the serious thing we have to watch for is now another quarterback in the league is now in play. So, for example, if Sam Darnold is still available, that's a possibility. If Jameis Winston is available, that's going to be a possibility. So we're basically looking at a lot of other teams' professional backups and also the J.J. McCarthy. I don't know if the J.J. McCarthy thing's real. I just don't think that's real because the Vikings know that they're moving on from Sam Darnold. They like what Darnold did, but they feel like that was a product of their offense and their coaching. So, and if that's true, and remember, those actions belie that. So if you're another team and you're thinking about coming to the Vikings and taking Sam Darnold, you better be sure about what you're doing because the Vikings, by their actions alone, are showing you he ain't the guy. Even with a winning season, even having shown up there and refurbished, so to speak, his career, because we've all known Sam Darnold to be nothing more than a bum. Then he went to the Niners, and it was first with the Niners that he kind of showed the league kind of went, you know, he's not bad. You know what I mean? Because Sam Darnold's always had all the tools, but he was just the kind of guy.
I can't find your bottle.
Oh, then don't worry about it. He was just, yeah, that'd be fun. But he was just the kind of guy that was, he had caught the label of being a bust. So now, fast forward, he goes to the Niners, plays pretty well. Then the Niners let him go because they have to get their guy going, which obviously was the right decision. They got two and a half good years out of that 7th round pick of theirs. But I don't think that's gonna continue. Shanahan's job is already on the line. Probably gonna move on from that guy. Anyway, getting back to what I was saying about the Vikings. The Vikings are not gonna shop Darnold if they don't believe in J.J. McCarthy. That's one. 2, believe in him, and he's such a young rookie player. That means he's got a tiny little inexpensive contract that he's stuck in for at least 4 seasons, now 3, because he just did his rookie year. And for the next 3 years, the Vikings are going to get him on the cheap to see if he's got what it takes. Now, they'll know if he's got what it takes in 1 year. So that means in those next 2 years, they'll start looking for either his replacement or think of moving up the backup and getting another quarterback to replace the number 2, who now becomes the starter, and you move on from J.J. McCarthy. But by then, we'll have picked our quarterback, and it'll be over. That'll be irrelevant. So Troy Gill, the news about him is, about the new GM, is basically that he always wants to make a deal within the league when it comes to quarterback. And so I just want people to know that, because why? It really juices up the story, and here's how. Comrade Trujillo! And Stephen Shaw. Now, why does this get juicy? It gets juicy because there are those that were thinking within Raider Nation, I think quite a few of us, in fact, even I, the fact that we didn't have a coach, we're going into the draft, so there's no way to look at the identity of our staff and how they're going to behave in this next draft. Now that we have a GM, now we know by his track record what he'll do for us. Okay, so now, how did I know what the last GM was going to do? Because he had an 11-year track record at the Los Angeles Chargers and San Diego Chargers. And in that time there, he never traded down. And from what I understand, in 11 years, he traded up once. Other than that, he'd never gone down or up. He just had a habit, which I thought was strange, because there's strategy in drafting down if you have a bad team, and there's strategy in moving up if you're trying to finish, the icing on top of a good team. Well, he didn't do either of those things. He just went into every draft and just picked where his picks were. Maybe that's a confidence in himself, and he doesn't want to do deals with other teams that help other teams in any way, and just is going to go in with great talent scouts and his own ability to scout talent and pick guys, round by round. That's the argument I could make for him. I don't know what his was, but that's the only one to me that makes any sense. Dwayne A. Turner, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. So now, what do we know his track record is? Okay, Spygate, his Spy Tech, his modus operandi, okay, his MO, is that the moment he gets in charge as a GM, he immediately wants to find a veteran quarterback. That's why the moment Tom Brady was available, he went after him, and he went after him hard. And we know now from other articles I've read, and I guarantee you if you go on to SB Nation, which is Silver and Black Nation, and what was the other one? Sports Illustrated has it, but that's not the one I can't remember. Well, there's one more I can't remember, but you'll find it, I'm sure. But anyway, what they talked about in the story was the fact that Tom Brady was impressed with Spy Tech and what he did with getting him getting Tom Brady over to the Buccaneers. He wanted to go there in part because of his pitch and showing Tom that they could model the team around him because he was such a veteran presence. You can't ask him to come in and learn something new. So that GM immediately went, yes, Tom, we know exactly what you want to run and we're willing to let you run it. Okay, now that bridge is not easy to build. Because if you bring in an old quarterback and you let him change everything you do and then he leaves the following year, you're stuck with a really bad team that will have to find a young quarterback that's going to throw in this intricate, highly detailed, motion heavy, dialogue heavy kind of offense that Tom was running both with the Patriots and the Buccaneers. So I think that this bridge is real. And I think it's because Tom wants that guy for two reasons. One, he showed an acuity for reaching over to another team and talking them out of the most important position on their team in a lot of instances. And he did that. Okay. And second, and more importantly, Tom will see him as someone that he can command, someone that will be comfortable with taking orders from Tom. See, if you bring in a general manager from anywhere, whether they're coming from a team or they're just coming from sitting on their couch, Tom can't know if he can completely trust that guy. He just can't. And so unless it's someone he knows that has faith in him and he has faith in them, and that he can trust that guy to think in the Tom mold. And by the way, don't short sell what I'm telling you. It is the Tom mold. Mark Davis has walked completely back and is looking at Tom like a dog on a leash, but he's unleashed him and said, go get it, boy. And the only part about that I liked about that is that he called him a boy. But anyway, fast forward. So now Tom is going to build this whole thing the way he sees fit. Now, we had some other news today about another coach who was a bombastically horrible coach. in Josh McScrewknuckles. Okay. Yeah. You know, the guy that used to be with us and we fired him after our owner told us as fans, we need to smarten up because we don't know enough about football, or we'd know better that he shouldn't fire Josh McFluddle and stuff. Had another F word there, but Tommy, I love you. That's why I do that. Okay. I do that for you and mom and grampy. Now, I think that this could work because Tommy Boy is going to put his hands on everything. I think this tells us that. You know what I mean? Because with the Ben Johnson thing, I can tell you right now, you can read all you want about whatever reports you're reading about in the news. The bottom line is we didn't get Ben Johnson because we weren't going to bend for Ben Johnson. And the other team that picked him up, the Bears, was willing to bend for him. Second, the Bears have a young franchise quarterback that showed an ability. He did. Even if it was just his rookie year, he got beat up. He did still show flashes of, hey, if you can get this guy in an offense, get him confident in it to where when you call plays into him, he's like, okay, let's go. You've got to get that Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes kind of relationship. You have to get that Belichick-Brady kind of relationship where both guys agree this is the best way to attack. Because once you get that on that same page, teams are hard to stop. I mean, if you ever really look back, excuse me, there's lots of teams out there that have been bad that had good coaches and had all you needed, but didn't have a cohesion between the quarterback and the coach. And until you have that, you don't win. Even if the quarterback's good, you've got to have both guys on the same page. Steven! Ah! Okay, look, and another one of the people who kicked my head in at basketball this week. Hi, John Holland. How are your Celtics doing? Good to see you, brother. Say hi to the missus for me. Mark Alvarez. Of course your son's upset. One, he's a real Warriors fan. The town business. And more importantly, you kind of kicked the hell out of us. I mean, I can't remember the exact score, but it was pretty embarrassing. Bear, do you think bringing a 31-year-old free agent like Khalil Mack back could benefit the defense with Wilkins and Crosby easily a solid 10-sack season? To be quite honest with you, the only thing Khalil Mack has lost is air. In other words, and it will make sense what I mean when I say that. His cardio isn't as good as it was just because he's just an older guy. And when you start to get a little bit older and you play the highest level of sports, see, like right now, if you ask Khalil Mack to run 5 miles, he could do it like that. He really could. He could probably do it, barely break a sweat. But that's not the kind of cardio level that the NFL is. And you have to remember, he played like LeBron at football. He was clearing away the best for like a 5 or 6 year period. There was just no one better. So having said all that, would I bring him in? Absolutely. Without hesitation, I would bring him in absolutely. Because if you saw the way he played for the Chargers, he didn't really drop off much. And that was with Joey Noza sticking his nose in other people's business. That was with Joey Noza being hurt, quite a bit of the time, like usual. Bum. That whole family's a bunch of bums. Ramiro Castro said we've shortened Tom to just minority owner. No, see, to be honest with you, the reason why he's more than the minority owner is because that's what Mark Davis wants. He feels like just in his, however many communications he's had with Tom one-on-one, okay, most of the time I'm sure it was about business, but the communications they've had together, he thinks Tom can do this. And I know there are other people who have gone to Mark and told him that Tom can do this. Now, there's two conspiracies playing out right now, okay? And you know how conspiracies are. We don't know if it's true or not. We just know it's there. But whether it's true or not, I can't say. Here's the first one. Conspiracy number one. Bob Kraft, knowing his Patriots are going to be bad for a while because they've got to find a new quarterback. They've got to find another young one. You notice the Patriots have kind of been standing pat. Even though they let go of Belichick, they haven't really flipped the roster of talent, of coaches and things like that because they don't see the point. Just throw it out there, whatever the product is. The fans will keep coming because they remember the legacy of all the Super Bowls. That'll last for a while. And ruin the Raiders. And Bob Kraft sends his guys to ruin the Raiders. Jim, Josh McDaniels, go and coach for the Raiders. I'm not going to hire you. Go see if you can get the job. And if you get the job, just be there as long as you can and just do things the way you want to do it. But just make a mess of the place. Just burn the place down. And what can Mark Davis do? He's an idiot. Just go in there and just call whatever. Blue 22 sunshine. Run up the middle 4 times in a row. Which, don't laugh. We did do that a couple times. He was so sabotaging us. I just believe it's true. And then quietly, Tom weasels his way into part ownership. Honestly, that fits my conspiracy because whether the team wins or loses has nothing to do with him making a lot of money from his contract with Mark and being a part owner and getting money back from being a part owner. Stock in the team, so to speak. So who gives a flying fadooty if a lot of cuss words on me tonight. Fadooty, that was a bad one. But, he doesn't care because win or lose, he's paid. He's still famous. And the stigma of us losing doesn't apply to him. He's the golden boy, the champion with more rings than fingers. So he comes into our organization, everyone looks at us and says, what are you going to do to facilitate things so Tom can still be the prince of all Saiyans and rebuild your team? It's a lose-lose for us. Lynn! Yeah. John Holland said, looking good as usual.
ATV?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, he's watching?
He is. Well, he's not watching because he enjoys me or my show. He's here to rib me as hard as he can because his Celtics blasted our Warriors the other night.
I was just going to say it's probably because
That's the only reason to say it.
The game that was... Yeah.
I want to say it's me. He had to see the R8RBEAR tonight. There were some topics we were going to be talking about. All right, Brian Paul said, we haven't announced Spytek yet. Is he going to dump us to go to the Jags with Liam and Cohen. Brian Paul, great comment. Let me put that up here. Okay, we haven't announced Spytech yet. Is he going to dump us to go to the Jags with Liam Cohen? Okay, first, that's a great question. And honestly, I can't give you a definitive yes or no. Because obviously, you know as well as I do, I'm not literally in the middle of the circumstance. But if I were a betting man, I would say to you, he's coming to us. I don't think the hesitation, of not announcing it has anything to do with anything other than that they want to know what day they want to do it. They're hammering out, little bits and pieces of what his contract's going to be, and then they'll bring him in. So in a sense, I will go ahead and say, no, I don't think he'll leave with Liam Cohen. I think he's coming to the Raiders for sure. I say we ask the Rams what they'll take for Stetson Bennett, Brock Bowers' old college quarterback. Kid was Baker Mayfield. Has Baker Mayfield vibes. Travis Kelly, you do write some great comments. This is one of the better ones. That's two, you guys, Brian Paul, Travis Kelly, back to back. Two of the better comments I've had in a while. Okay, so let me say this. I do also see Baker Mayfield vibes with Stetson Bennett, and I feel like Stetson Bennett is unfortunately falling in this quarterback draft because he's not dynamic. And because he's not dynamic, he's being looked at as, well, you're a Porsche and all these other guys are Ferraris. But we forget, because they keep showing us all these Ferraris, that Porsches are pretty damn good. Yeah. I mean, I love Porsches. I love the Porsche truck. I love the Catera. I mean, they have a lot of dope vehicles. So if we end up with Stetson Bennett, I'd be celebrating that. I would tell all of Raider Nation, hey man, this is a guy under the radar, at a professional offense and a professional defense in Georgia who's going to understand things at this next level. Better than a lot of these other QBs who don't have the same time in that he does. Great question. Bear, do you think the Sanders family will be a package deal if the Raiders get Shedeur? He will only accept the offer if we also hire his dad. Corinna, I've gotten the impression that that's been discussed in Dallas, not with us. In fact, we've scheduled no interviews with Dion. Our last two were with Pete Carroll, Pete Spagnuolo, and there was one other guy who I can't quite remember, but I remember he was a defensive coordinator, formerly defensive-minded coach. And so the press was basically saying, what are we doing here? You got Pete Carroll, defensive guy. You got Pete Spagnuolo, defensive guy. And then the third guy whose name remains anonymous because I can't remember it, which should tell you it's probably irrelevant. It's just some name. But I do remember the article and the reporter I was reading were correct. We're looking closest right now at 3 defensive coaches. And here's what I have to say about that. Put in foots in them! Raiders! When did defense stop winning championships? I'll wait. I mean, yes, it's the offensive era. I get that. It's the era of offense. But you still have to have a good defense. And if you look at the teams in the league that are winning a lot, they have either a serviceable defense or a pretty good one, not a bad one. You see what I mean? Because you can have a great offense, but if you have a bad defense, you're not going anywhere. Now, if I were to give you an example, I would say what happened to the Lions. Now, the Lions defense, to their credit, and for those of you who may not know this, they had about 5 or 6 guys that were integral pieces to their winning. And of the 5, 3 or 4 of them, if I'm not mistaken, one of them was a special teams guy that they really relied on. He couldn't play. And then the other 4 were all defensive players, including that guy they call Hutchinson, a defensive end, a lot like our Max, but a little bigger, a little heavier. He has more of that Khalil Mack build, but not quite as big as Khalil Mack. He's kind of in between Max and Khalil Mack as far as his size. It's hard to say, but he's fantastic, and they lost him. So they had an offense that could run by you all day and a defense that couldn't stop a nosebleed, couldn't stop a conversation. I saw that McBendejo is returning to the NFL. I hope and pray it's not with the Raiders. No, he's already signed with the Patriots, Corinna. He's going home. That's why I was calling it a conspiracy, because suddenly when he becomes the head coach, we get Tom as a part owner, which, okay, Mark may have thought he wanted Tom Brady to be an owner, but most people who get conned, they don't realize they're being conned. So they're willing to go with that person and pay them money and put their faith in him. And they probably should. But Mark don't know better. Oh, did I mention tonight, to the contributor of the most stars tonight will go this sick Raider spatch. It's awesome. It's got the logo in the blade. It's got the logo up here. This is all wood. The piece of metal goes all the way through the tang. I thought that was really cool. And also, I was holding it like this and showing it to you guys, and then I didn't even... God is my witness. I did not know this until I came to Showtime to show you. It's got a bottle opener. It's so cool. You can just walk around the party with it in your hand like you're Mr. Cool. And every time you walk over, hey, you need that bottle open? Come to Mr. Bottle. Come here. Check it out. To the contributor of the most stars tonight will go this fine item. And now that we're about midway through the show, actually a little more than midway, I can tell you that I plan on adding some nice little goodies in to go in with this. You won't know what that means, but just trust me. I mean, you won't know what the wink means, but just trust me. There's going to be some other cool stuff in this. So you're not just winning that. You're winning that and a couple other cool things. I'm not going to tell you what. I want it to be a surprise. Let's see. I almost threw up yesterday when I saw the article with headline Tom Brady Raiders. Yeah, after the headline, I didn't even bother reading the article. Yeah, to be quite honest with you, a lot of people did that. Steven Shaw! Carlos, boy, kids. What's up, Carlos? Welcome to the show. Man, Carlos, you got on like a streak for a while there with the medals. What'd you have to go back to work or something? No excuses. Put it in you. Let's see. John Rogers Jr., what's up, man? Welcome to the show. I see you there. Commander Bell. If the Raiders suffer another bad season, fingers will point at Mark Davis. Commander Bell... Great, that's a great profile picture, bro. Looking cool. I'm a big Star Wars fan, too. Commander Bell, I would say this to you. I don't agree only because they're going to put the blame where they think it lies. And with Josh McDaniels, you knew it lied with Mark Davis. He just made a bad decision. We all knew that Josh McDaniels was a bad coach. And I can say that definitively. We all really did. We saw what he'd done at other places. We saw the fact that he screwed around the Broncos. He screwed around the Colts. But he's not going to do that with us. And then we have player after player after player that played when he was coaching. And they said, without a doubt, he is not head coaching material. And I was like blown away by that. And so I watched the whole video. And I saw at least 4 or 5 different players that played for him that made it very clear he is not a good coach. And so the announcer or the interviewer, the reporter said, why? And they said, because he doesn't know how to talk to players. And right away, my first instinct was, oh, he's talking about black players. He's saying that he doesn't relate to black guys. It's worse than that. He doesn't relate to anybody. There's white guys in the locker room that don't like him, Hispanic guys that don't like him, black guys that don't like him, other white guys on the coaching staff. That's the only reason why he can go back to New England, because essentially everyone else that was there that he used to work with is gone now. You know what I mean? Remember that guy that used to always wear his hat on backwards and he would chew on pencils for some reason as though it's still the 80s? I can't remember the guy's name, but he went on to try to coach and he wasn't very good. And then they brought him back and he wasn't very good. And I don't think he's on the team anymore. He may be, but I'm not sure. Don Wally D, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Mike Brown! Mike, I apologize. I saw you sent me your address and everything to Raider Bear Family Box page's inbox, and then it asked me to respond to you, and I just couldn't. I've been out running around all day. But I just want to answer your question. Yes, I got your address information. If I didn't, I'll let you know. So please keep watching the show, but I'm I'm almost 1,000% positive that I got your information, and then we'll be sending your stuff right away. Actually, I'm planning on going to the post office tomorrow. I'm not trying to get everybody excited, but if I go tomorrow, then whoever wins the Spatch and the other stuff and the people who won their stuff from the other night's show, I'm going to send it all tomorrow. You're welcome, Brian Paul. Michael Purifoy! He gets that introduction, win or lose, because that's my guy right there. Not sure how I feel about Pete Carroll as our head coach. I saw that the Seahawks removed him as head coach due to his antiquated way of thinking and his inability to evolve with the game. Your thoughts? Michael Purifoy, as usual, fantastic comment, and it's multifaceted, so let's go over each part of it. You said, not sure how I feel about Pete Carroll as our head coach. I saw the Seahawks removed him as head coach due to his antiquated way of thinking. Okay, now, I actually made that comment on my show just the other night, and I made it very clear that I don't know if maybe the NFL has passed him up, and maybe the methods and the style, the decision-making, the play calling, the formations he runs, maybe the rest of the league and other coaches have just seen too much tape of Pete Carroll. Now, I think that's a legitimate argument that doesn't have anything to do with his age. It just so happens, though, that longevity and being around that long, people can get a bead on how you coach. I honestly think that Seattle team, though, when Russell Wilson left and they brought in that bust quarterback, I can't even think of his name, and I apologize for that, but they brought in this guy that was pretty much considered a bust by other people. On the last team he was on, one of his own teammates, a linebacker, walked up to him in the locker room and punched him, knocked him out, and broke his jaw. A quarterback. Think of how mad you'd have to be as a player to do that to a quarterback. And it doesn't matter if it's first, second, or third string. It's a quarterback. They could end up leading your team with a couple injuries, which can happen like that. Okay? And yes, I have seen it. Don't forget, I've been covering football for 30 years. I have seen the first and second quarterback go down, and they had to bring in the third. Okay? And they wouldn't have been able to do that in this instance because a linebacker decided that he punked him and he didn't like it, and so he knocked him out. So anyway, that guy, he was the linebacker that he used to play with had made up this child's camp, and he wanted the quarterback to go. He agreed to go and then didn't show up. And the player had paid for a limo, airline tickets, the limo to pick him up and drive him there, all that stuff. And he didn't show up for any of it. And then when the guy went to get an answer from him, he said, "Shut up, fool. Don't approach me in the locker room." Swear to God. Swear to God, this little punk quarterback looks at this massive linebacker, and I can't remember his name. I apologize. The names are forgiving me, but the linebacker was huge. And he's like, "What did you just say to me?" Bow. And put him down in the locker room. A quarterback. I was blown away. I was just blown away by that. Okay, now back to what we were saying. Yes, I do think, though, that Pete Carroll can come in and still be innovative, still be a winning coach. Now, we're bringing in our own offensive coordinator. We're bringing in our own GM. Do you see what I'm saying? So the thought process is going to be there. So what we would be doing with Pete Carroll is we would be bringing in a figurehead coach, but that's not an insult. A lot of the time, a figurehead coach, you call him that, it's an insult because it means basically they're not really winning the games. The offensive coordinator, the defensive coordinator, and your GM's talent to put players on the field is what's winning. You see what I'm saying? That happens a lot in football. It really does. You don't always notice it because, of whatever reasons, but it happens a lot. Now, in my opinion, this is the opposite of that. This is us saying, Pete, you can have the job, but Tommy Boy is going to show you, who he wants as the offensive coordinator so that, we have the kind of offense he likes that always, I can tell you right now, we're going to install an offense that has options on every play. So it'll have a slant pattern on the right or the left on every play. You will have plays where you can motion those guys over and go heavy. So have two wide receivers on the right, the slant guy on the right, and motion the tight end to the right side, and then play action and toss the ball to the running back running left on a sweep. Stuff like that really, really misdirects and confuses the other team's defense. And then if you go in front of that defense and they look like they're prepared for that, there's an audible in that old offense that will get you out of almost everything. That's the real reason why Tom was as good as he was. Josh McDaniels made a very complicated, intricate offense. And the only person that had the patience to sit down with it in his home and watch video virtually every day. And I don't know if you guys have saw any of Tom Brady's documentaries, and I haven't, but I know that this was spoken in one of his documentaries. He talked about the fact that he sits for hours on his own and he watches tapes. He watches tapes of who he's going to play. He has the video guy at the facility of the team that he's playing for at the time. He did it with the Pats, and then he did it with the Bucks. They would send him tape material of the offense the other team runs, and then he would study it for a couple days leading into the next game. So he knew when their linebackers were making changes, what it looked like. When they showed something and then tapped on their forehead, it meant like a certain kind of blitz. Well, now when the game starts and the guy goes like this and he taps on his forehead, Tom knows what's coming. Oh, they're blitzing. Okay, well, I'm going to throw a little slant here, burn you for 10 yards. And that's what he would do. But see, he had such an understanding of it. Think of it like if you got into a kung fu fight, okay? And the other guy says he's a black belt. And you're a black belt too, but you've been a black belt for 20 years. So there's more kicks you've learned. There's more holds you've learned. There's more defense you've learned. There's more offense that you've learned. You're just better than the guy in front of you. Even if he may have a black belt and thinks he's tough, when he comes at you, you're going to end up in the instructor role, teaching this fool, no, you know some things, but I'm really, really good. That's kind of what happened to Tom because he assimilated that offense and then he made it work for him where he understood on every play, there's no way they can cover all five guys. If I run 3 wide receivers, a number 1, a number 2, and a slant guy, a tight end, and a running back, or tight end in the formation, and a running back, now I've got 6 guys running through your pattern that you have to account for. It's impossible. It's impossible, especially if the quarterback has such a mental acuity and understanding of that offense that now, right as he snaps the ball, he can see the defense's reaction and say, oh, the safeties came down, I can go deep. Oh, the safeties went deep, I can go short, shallow. Oh, they called a blitz. Okay, I can dump it off to my running back or throw it to my slant pattern, get 7 yards. See, it's unstoppable. It's almost unstoppable. And if you remember correctly, that's what they were. For a good decade, even when they lost games, you know, it was surprising because they had that offense cracking. I think Deion's going to go to Dallas with his son because they both, those pictures and filled. John Rogers Jr., not only do I agree with that, I agree with it because I think Deion Sanders wants the show. So if it's not Dallas, it's going to be New York. Because what bigger stage is there? And I know that should be irrelevant. It's football. But see, with someone like Deion and his son, where they land is not irrelevant. So New York, Miami, Dallas, you know, franchises that are tied to major cities. And yes, the Raiders, Las Vegas, but I don't think we're going to pull that trigger. I don't know if Tom would trust Deion, even if they are friends, to not turn into Deion when he's on the field and, you know, get into arguments with refs and players and maybe cost us timeouts and blah, 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 blah. We should go after Monken for head coach. He was OC in Tampa with Spytech and OC at Georgia with Bowers. So there's familiarity there. Tanamoku, yet again. My audience tonight. Yeah, that's spot on, Tanamoku. And to be quite honest with you, we should expect to see it potentially. Because one, hiring Monken just because he knows Spytech, it's better than that. Monken is a head coach, possibility with a lot of these other teams. They've been interviewing him. So if we were to bring in a head coaching level talent to be our new offensive coordinator and he knows Spytech, you know, I could see that. And he knows Tom, you know, so, I mean, that's a fit. Now, I want to be clear, though. If we do announce Spytech and we do announce Monken, that does not mean Tom is coming down from us stairs to try to bring us a Super Bowl. Did you see my lack of confidence in that statement? I'm terrified he's going to do it. I just want him to pick one thing that isn't associated with Tom so that we can go, okay, whoosh. Okay, Tom's not going to come down. He hasn't lost his mind completely, just a little bit. Bear, Stetson Bennett is already in the league, not the draft this year. He's playing currently behind Matt Stafford and porn star Jimmy G. Stetson would look good in silver and black. I got him mixed up from playing Georgia last year. I thought he was still coming in. My bad. Mr. R8RBEAR, it's going to bring back Mr. Graham as the DC. Tommy, that's a good question. I honestly, I don't know if they're going to bring him back as the defensive coordinator, but I would say that if you were going to let him go, why haven't they announced that already? Kind of like the thing with the Turners. I don't know what they're going to do with the Turners. Even if they announce that they're gone or that they're not going to be back, I don't know that they aren't going to be back. You know, that might be just a thing where Tom's like, you know, I want to be in there and I want to get in the interview process with them, talk about how I want to do this offense and can they mold themselves around that? You know, and honestly, I think they could. You know, the Turners to me are impressive. I find them impressive, the son and the father. Now, the father more because of what I saw him do throughout the league. Every quarterback he touched, he made better. And every quarterback I saw get interviewed about Norv Turner smiled ear to ear that they were working with Norv Turner. God's honest truth. So, you know, and even Alex Smith, the former Niner and Washington Redskins quarterback before they changed their name to Commanders. But Alex Smith was constantly insulted and called a game manager, where he just goes 1, 2, 3, throw, 1, 2, 3, throw. Never throws dynamically, never looks for the big play. Well, that turned out to be not true when he got Norv Turner. He started lighting it up, and it was just because Norv taught him how to see it. And then Alex Smith is in the study room, and he says, look, see, if he does this, and this guy comes right here, you know you've got the deep on the right. Even if it doesn't look open, you've got it, because the safety has to drop down to help the corner. And he's like, oh, and then the light bulb came on. And Alex Smith was smiling like a kid at Toys R Us. I hope the Niners bring him back. I really do. And then they didn't. Steven Shaw! Mike Brown! Steven Shaw and Mike Brown one more time. Right down to the final bell. Yes, Geno Smith was the quarterback. The linebacker in the locker room literally clocked him and broke his jaw. I thought it was so impressive. And personally, after I found out what he said to him, I didn't blame him. But I still don't know if I was a linebacker on that team and it was the exact same situation. I don't know if I would have blasted him. Because you're guaranteeing you're not going to have a job. And the guy didn't. They let him go. You know what I mean? And lost Geno after that. So it just, oof. Or was it in Seattle? He might have broke Geno's jaw in Seattle. I would like Brian Flores to get a chance to interview for head coach. Mike Brown, great comment. Honestly, I love Brian Flores. If they said right now, Bear, we're going to get Brian Flores, I'd be good. I'd be good. In fact, that might be the third coach that they're interviewing that I forgot about. That could be him. Because Brian Flores, to me, clicks all the boxes. Smart, aggressive, tough, young, has run defensive teams and has been around chicanery in leagues and coaches and owners and contracts where they're willing to bend the rules damn near to breaking them, you know, and he's seen it all. And so I think that guy is like the Ryan family. He could come right in our defense. He could turn it right up. Uncle Geno was quarterback for the Jets where that took that. Okay, there it is. It was when he was with the Jets. Thank you, Troy Gill. See, I thought it was another team. Yes, Geno Smith, Jim Garrison. A lot of people know that story. I'm impressed. Geno Smith was punched by a linebacker, and he was a bad dude, man. With the new GM, I wonder if Byron Leftwich could get a shot. Vernon Moshman, I will go ahead and say I hope so. Because, again, that's another guy. See, if we see that, though, that's another possibility. Tom walks down from the luxury box. No, I'm going to speak it into existence. No, Tom. It must stop. I'm going to bring my squirt bottle. Psst, 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 psst. Mike Brown and Steven Shaw. Alexa, play Hide by NASA, please.
Getting that from YouTube.
She's getting that from YouTube. Okay, I like that. No, you're not. No, you're not. Alexa, play Hide by NASA. I think they turned on YouTube on the TV in the front room for the girls, so they're probably going to come busting in the room now mad that I changed the channel from here. I'm just kidding, I hope. All right, that's my show. Much love. Bids through the song. Bids are open through the song, so if you want to surprise one of these two guys and just drop 30 bucks down, you might get them. Hey, I'm trying to raise money, okay? Here we go. Shout out to our armed forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, National Guard, Space Force. For all you do, the energy and love of this show is dedicated to your sacrifice. Active and veteran, much love. R8RBEAR! All right, maybe not the whole song. It's a long song. Mike Brown! Oh, what? Mike Brown! Steven Shaw, don't tolerate that stuff, man. Hey, Corinna won the other day. I'm not trying to get all her money, too. All right, that's my show. Much love. I appreciate you all tuning in. Much love to you all. We will calculate most stars spent. We will figure out who won this, and we will announce it tomorrow, just like we did the other day. Much hope. Mike Brown! As soon as I finish speaking, then I'm going to shut it down. I swear, I'm really going to do it. Wait, what? Much love, guys. I will see you again soon. Probably tomorrow night. Maybe for sure. Yeah, maybe for sure. For sure, maybe. Oh, yeah, figure that one out. No, it's true. It could be a for sure. Now I feel guilty now. I can say I'm win, lose, or tie, Raider till I die. That might accidentally end up in the box with this spatula. Oh, and of course, my guys out here, Arizona Bling Nation. The only people I go to when I get my bling done, Arizona Bling Nation. It's true. What, you thought I was kidding? Raider Nation. Oh, wait. Raider Nation. Right? Pretty cool. Yep, I'm just putting some goodies in this one. Check it out. Raiders! You see, look, it's got the silhouette of Las Vegas on the top. That's dope. Alexa, stop. All right, that's my show. Much love. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. R8RBEAR family page. And I thank everyone for tuning in and for auctioning tonight. We really appreciate you. Much love. R8RBEAR, Mama Bear, Little Cub, R8RBEAR family page.